पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 2 श्लोक 26। अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि। So far, Bhagavan described the Atma Swarupa. So that Arjuna can get out of his present situation, grief, shoka and moha. In spite of explaining the Atma Swarupa, Arjuna is not getting convinced. He is not able to understand the Nitya Swarupa, Avikriya Swarupa of the Atma. Then somehow Arjuna should be brought out of his present state of mind. Therefore, Bhagavan adopts a different approach. Someone who is not able to see the truth, you have to come down to his level and give a solution, so that he is able to be free from the problem, at least for now. It is like a first aid. Accident has happened. All of a sudden you cannot rush the patient to the hospital, because the patient is bleeding If you take him to the hospital, he may die on the way. Therefore, before taking the patient to the hospital, some first aid has to be done. Stop the bleeding. And sometimes the approach that you use for the first aid may not be a medically precise one, because there is no doctor around. Somehow the patient has to be rescued. With whatever material available, you rescue the patient, stop the bleeding. If there is no sanitized cloth for covering the wound, just take any other cloth, used cloth, and cover the wound and save the patient. Then you take him to the hospital, and then you can give proper treatment. Likewise, Bhagavan is trying to make Arjuna see the truth of the Atma Tattva. But Arjuna is in a severe distress. The problem is severe. Therefore, understanding the Atma Tattva, all of a sudden, is not happening, even though Krishna described it in last few verses. 13 verses. Already he has spent 13 or 14 verses. Therefore, initially, to get Arjuna back to normal, to regain his composure, Bhagavan is using another approach. For the time being, he makes Arjuna accept what he thinks as true. The common people's understanding, a common man's understanding. People take birth and people die. This is what we generally see. When someone is dead and you are trying to console his relatives, dear ones, you cannot say Atma is Nitya, Avikriyaha. If they are ordinary people, not associated with Vedanta, they will not understand. How do the people in general console? Everyone has to die one day. It is inevitable. That is how the people in the world console. I am so sad that your husband died. But everyone has to die one day. This is the pattern. Whether today or tomorrow, everyone has to die. Death is inevitable. So if you say this, perhaps the person gets some solace. Likewise, Bhagavan is adopting a similar method. Bhagavan is accepting Arjuna's understanding for the time being. And Arjuna's understanding is an individual is born again and he dies again. Nitya Jata. An individual is repeatedly born and he repeatedly dies. Arjuna is an astika. See, there can be another approach. Everyone has to die. This may work for Nastika also. But then Astika, but not a Vedanti. A non-Vedanti Astika. Astika means he has Shraddha in Punya, Papa, in rebirth, etc. That kind of a person. It is a slightly different approach than the approach that you can use for an Astika or a very ordinary person. You can say, if someone is born, he has to die. And after death, there will be another Janma and another life. So it is a cycle. Birth and death is a cycle. It keeps happening. And birth and death are inevitable. And the cycle of birth and death is inevitable. That is how an ordinary astika thinks. Yeah, he will be reborn. So we will pray for his Sadgati. Nowadays they write rest in peace, RIP. But RIP is not Vaidika. It is Abrahamic. He will rest in the box coffin in peace until the day of judgment. That is the idea conveyed by rest in peace. We don't say rest in peace. We pray for Sadgati. Whatever passage he takes after this Janma, let it be a good passage. Let it be a good journey. That is what we pray. Because we know that only the body is buried or burnt, cremated. The Jiva has left. And Jiva is continuing its journey. body after body. And this was one part of his journey where both of you met, just like a co-passenger. When we sit in train or flight, you get a neighbor. In fact, when you sit in a train or flight, you have a new identity there. You have a seat number. That is your identity. You are sitting on a seat A1. Then A1 is your identity. Who is A1? You will raise your hand. As soon as you entered the flight, you have got a new identity, new nama. A1 identity. And near you, another person sits, A2. He is A2. He got another identity. Sorry, not A1, 1A should, right? Okay, whatever. Okay, A1 or 1A. So A1, A2, some number, some alphabet. Now A1 and A2 have become neighbors. And the identity will continue throughout the present journey. And then during the journey, you speak to the other person. You get introduced. Hello. So then there is a lot of discussion. You exchange many things. To pass the time. And then you get down. If it is a train journey, when your station comes, you get down. Or when his station comes, he will get down first. But you don't cry. My neighbor got down, my neighbor got down. You don't cry. Because you are fully aware that it is a journey. You are continuing your journey. You are a different individual continuing your journey. And he is a different individual continuing his journey. There is no grief, no sense of loss. If it is a very long train journey, there you may develop some attachment also. And for a while you may feel like, oh, I miss this person. Suppose a train journey of 72 hours. The longest train route. There are many such train routes. 40 hours, 70 hours. there may be some attachment also. But afterwards, after a few hours, you forget and you are engaged in other things. Likewise, the life, everyone is in his own journey. Every individual is in his own journey. We are all Jivatmas. So this is an argument from Jivatma point of view. Previously Krishna talked about from the standpoint of Paramatma. Paramatma means the Atma. Atma which is Parama. Atma which transcends samsara is Paramatma. Everyone cannot understand Paramatma. Paramatma drishti, everyone cannot understand. Therefore, Bhagavan talks about from Jivatma drishti, from the standpoint of Jivatma. Let us consider everyone is Jivatma, and Jivatma is our nature. The Jivatma is the one who travels from body to body, from Sthula Sharira to Sthula Sharira. Because the Sukshma Sharira is included in Jiva. Atma associated with Sukshma Sharira is Jivatma. And from an Ajnani's point of view, it is the nature of an individual. So from that standpoint, Krishna speaks. So everyone is a Jivatma in his own journey. And when someone is born as your close relative, as your kinsman, the person is another Jivatma. In this Janma, he or she has become your neighbor. Just like the A1 identity and A2 identity. In this Janma, you are related in one way, like a co-passenger. He is near you, she is near you, and you are in the same journey for a while. A part of the journey, you are traveling together. Then you may part ways, but for a while you are together. And this Jivatma has a new identity now. When the Jivatma sits in this seat, this is a seat of Jivatma, this body. And the other Jivatma is sitting in that seat, another body. And you are traveling together. And when his station comes, he will get down. That is death. he has left this seat. That doesn't mean the person is gone. He will take up another vehicle, maybe another flight or another train, and he will travel. He will continue his journey. This is the understanding from the point of a Jivatma. And Krishna tells Arjuna, supposing that an individual is just a Jivatma, even from that standpoint, you are not supposed to come to grief. Because this is only a part of a Jivatma's journey that you see. His journey will continue. He will be born again, and so on. See, athacha. So this kind of an argument is called abhyupetyavada or abhyupagamavada. Abhyupetyavada or abhyupagamavada. Abhyupagama means for a while you accept the vision, you accept the understanding of the person you are addressing, even if it is not correct. And then you give a solution. For the time being, you accept the person's view, and accepting the person's view, you give a solution. It is abhyupagamavada. So now, this shloka and the following shloka are abhyupagamavada. Accepting that an individual is a Jivatma and it has repeated Janma and Marana, and they are true. In this vision, in this view, Krishna is not bringing up the understanding that Atma is avikriya or Atma is sarvavyapi and Jagat is mithya. This understanding is not there in this view. Jagat is taken to be Satya. Atma has Vikriya and Atma really has body with that understanding. And there are many Atmas. That is the vision we are adopting now. Athacha, these two avyayas indicate that this is abhyupagamavada. Krishna is accepting Arjuna's wrong understanding about life, about the truth, for the time being, just for the sake of bringing him out of the intense, severe grief. Enam Atmanam, this Atma, Nityajatam Manyase. You think this Atma is Nityajataha. You understand that the Atma is Nityajataha. Nityajataha means repeatedly born. With the birth of every body, the Atma is born. And nityam va manyase mritam. And nityam mritam manyase. Nityam, regularly, repeatedly, the Atma is also dead. The death of the body is the death of the Atma. The Jivatma keeps dying again and again with the death of every body. Here, dying should not be understood as destruction of Jivatma. Dying means the Jivatma will continue, but the death is real. The death of a Jivatma, death of the body really affect the Jivatma. Unlike in the Paramatma Drishti, where the death is mithya and birth is mithya. But here death is satya. Though the body alone perishes and the Jivatma leaves the body, but it is satya. That is the idea. So since death is satya, the death really means something for the Jivatma. So he has lost this body and he is going. That is the idea of Nityam Mritam. Tathapi, He Mahabaho, O Mahabahu, Mahantau Bahu Yasya Saha Mahabahu. One who has long arms, he is called Mahabahu. Maha, not just long, it is powerful, strong arms. He has strong arms, strong and dexterous arms. That are the arms of Arjuna. Both his arms are very much skilled in shooting the arrows. That is why he is also called Savyasachihi. Savyasachin, Savyasachi. Savyena api sachitam sheelam yasya saha Savyasachin. One who can shoot arrow with the left hand also, just like with the right hand. Savya means left. Dakshina means right. So he can shoot arrow with the Savya, left arm also. Therefore he is called Savyasachi, ambidextrous. So he has two capable arms, skillful arms. Therefore Mahabahu, He Mahabaho. Tathapi, even then, in spite of thinking so, Naivam shochitum arhasi. You are not supposed to lament. You are not supposed to have sorrow in this manner. Evam, as you are distressed now. See the Bhashya. Atmanaha Anityatvam Abhyupagamya idam uchyate atmanah anityatvam. The anityatva of the Atma, abhyupagamya, accepting. Idam uchyate, this is being told. So, the anityatva should be understood as not totally anityatva. The Jivatma continues, but an identity of the Jivatma is anitya. So, Jivatma gives up one identity, one body, and that in that way it is as though lost. And then he has to take another body. That way, partial anityatva. Because for an ajnani, even body forms a part of an individual's nature for an ajnani. Therefore, when a body is lost, the Jivatma itself is as though lost to a great extent. Jivatma is also partially lost from the standpoint of an ajnani, but not totally lost, because he will go and take up another body. So there is a partial loss of a Jivatma is accepted with the death of the body. Atmanah anityatvam abhyupetya, accepting the anityatva of Atma, idam uchyate, this is being told. Atha cha iti abhyupagamārthah. Atha cha, these two avyayas indicate that this is an abhyupagama. Krishna is not speaking the siddhanta. The main vision is not talked about here in these two shlokas. He is descending from the main vision for a while. That is abhyupagama. Abhyupagamarthaha. Enam prakritam atmanam nityajatam lokaprasidhya प्रत्यनेक शरीरोत्पत्तिं जातः इति वा मन्यसे तथा प्रतितद्विनाशं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं मृतो मृत इति तथापि तथा भाविनी अपि आत्मनि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि जन्मवतः जन्मवतः नाशः is there. Okay, that's a better reading. जन्मवतः नाशः नाशवतः जन्मश्च. That is a reading. Okay. इत्येतौ अवश्यं भाविनौ इति एनं प्रकृतम् आत्मानं. एनम is sarvanama pronoun. This referring to prakritam, the one that is under discussion, and it is Atma. The Prakritam is Atma. Nityajatam. Nityajatam means repeatedly born, regularly born, born again and again. Bhashyakara explains Nityajatam prati aneka sharirotpattim. That is the meaning of Nitya. Prati aneka sharira utpattim. With the birth of every body. And the bodies are innumerable. Aneka. So, with the birth of many bodies, which are innumerable. Even for one individual, there are innumerable bodies. In chapter 4, Bhagavan himself will say, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna. I had many janmas and you had many janmas. So generally, the birth of a body is considered the birth of an Atma. The Jivatma is really born. So here born does not mean the Jivatma is totally fresh. So a part of it comes from the previous Janma, but he gains the part which is the Sthula Sharira, afresh. That is Janma. So Janma does not mean coming from non-existence altogether. That is not the idea of Janma. Janma means partially it comes from the previous. And he takes up the whole body as his nature. So even body is an integral part of the Jivatma from an Ajnani's point of view. That is what is called Janma. So, pratyaneka sharirotpattim jataha iti. Jataha. Repeatedly born. Jataha is repeated twice. Vipsa. With every body, he is born. And it is Loka Prasiddhya. This is Loka Prasiddha Drishti. And Loka Prasiddha Drishti, when Bhagavan says Loka Prasiddha, it is Astika Loka Prasiddha. The Loka where people are Astikas. Krishna cannot imagine a Loka of Nastika, perhaps, because even Bhagavan lived in a Loka of Astikas. Even people like Duryodhana, though they were doing adharma, they were not Nastika. They had Veda Pramanya. Duryodhana knew that Veda is Pramana, but he could not follow the Vedas. That was his problem. He clearly says somewhere, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. I know dharma, but I am not able to follow dharma. Janam yadharmam nachame nivrittihi. I know what is adharma, but I cannot resist from doing adharma. So, around Bhagavan and around Arjuna, it was Astika. So it is Astika Loka Prasiddhi. What is it? Everyone who dies is reborn, and everyone who is reborn is also going to die. This is Astika Loka Prasiddha. But in an Astika Loka, it is not there. If you go to the West, this understanding is not there. Everyone who is born is going to die. This part is there. But everyone who is dead is going to be reborn. They won't say this. After the death, my soul goes and my body is buried. Rest in peace. Reincarnation is not there in the West. They don't understand the idea of rebirth. It is purely Vaidika. Therefore, from the point of view of the Astika, he is reborn again. So, Jato Jata Itiva Manyase. You think he is Jataha. He is born again and again. Tatha also Pratitad Vinasham Nityam Mritam Manyase. Bhashyakara explains. Pratitad Vinasham. Nityam means Pratitad Vinasham. With every Vinasha, with every destruction of the body, Tad means Sharira. Prati Sharira Vinasham. With every destruction of the body, Nityam Mritam Manyase. You think the Atma is Mritaha. Mrito Mrita iti. He is dead again and again, dies again and again. Mrito Mrita iti manyase. It is the explanation of Mritam Manyase. Mritam Manyase is equal to Mritaha iti manyase. He dies again and again. This is what you think. Tathapi, in spite of that, Tathapi is equal to Tathabhavini api Atmani. Even if Atma has this kind of nature, He Mahabaho, O Mahabahu, Tvam naivam shochitumarhasi. You should not come to grief as you are doing now. Why? Jannavato janma jannavataha nashaha is avashyam bhavi. Avashyam bhavinau. Avashyam bhavinau means inevitable. What is inevitable? Jannavataha nashaha avashyam bhavi. The death of one who is born. One cannot escape from death. Everyone has death at one point or another. At the maximum, one can try to live long, 110, 120 years, 127, 131. You may find people who have lived up to that extent. Not more than that. And that too exceptions, a few exceptions of long life. Jannavataha nashaha avashyam bhavi. And nashavatashcha janma. One who has death will also have birth. If someone has died, he will also have janma. It is also avashyam bhav. Because the Shastra says so. Otherwise, the karma kanda of the Vedas won't have validity. The karma kanda talks about punya and papa. And it is not possible without having one more janma, next janma. So, according to the Dharma Shastra, Veda, Karma Kanda, this is the understanding. There is life after death. Nashascha ityetau avashyam bhavinau. Etau avashyam bhavinau. These two, Nash, Janmavatah Nashaha and Nashavatah Janmaha. Ityetau. These two are avashyam bhavinau. Both are inevitable. And the explanation continues. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvan janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyerthe na tvam shochitum arhasi. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. Jatasya mrityuhu. Jatasya, one who is born, his mrityu, his death. Dhruvo hi, it is dhruvaha, definite. He indicates prasiddha, it is well known. And dhruvam janma mritasya cha, mritasya janma, that birth of a dead man, dead person, it is also dhruvam, definite. Mrityuhu is pullinga, that is why dhruvaha. And janma is napumsakalinga, that is why dhruvam. Dhruva, the word dhruva is adjective. It can take all genders, depending on what it qualifies. Tasmat, therefore, apariharyerthe, it is apariharya artha. It is a fact of life. Birth and death are facts of life. And they are apariharya. They cannot be avoided. One can try to postpone it up to a certain extent. But it cannot be avoided. Therefore, apariharya. Na tvam shochitum arhasi. Tvam shochitum na arhasi. You should not come to grief. Tatha chasati. When it is so. So when Atma is Nitya Jata and Nitya Mrita, then Jatasya hi Labdha Janmanaha Dhruvaha Avyabhichari Mrityuhu Maranam Dhruvam Janma मृतस्य च तस्माद् अपरिहार्येऽर्थे अपरिहार्यः अयं जन्ममरणलक्षणः अर्थः तस्मिन् अपरिहार्ये अर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि। अपरिहार्येऽर्थे, अपरिहार्ये प्लस अर्थे अपरिहार्येऽर्थे. What is the sandhi? एङफ पदांतादति. जातस्य हि, जातस्य is equal to लब्धजन्मवतः. लब्धजन्मनः, sorry, not लब्धजन्मवतः, लब्धजन्मनः. One who has gained janma. Labdham janma yena saha. Labdhajanma. It will become Labdhajanma in prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Labdhajanma. Labdhajanma, Labdhajanmano, Labdhajanmanaha. Shashti. Labdhajanmanaha. Dhruvaha is equal to avyabhichari. Inevitable, definite. Mrityuhu is equal to maranam. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. And one who is mritaha, tasya janma, his birth is also dhruvam, definite. So that is why it is astika, astika's point of view. Tasmat, therefore, apariharyah ayam janna marana lakshanaha arthaha. Therefore, ayam janna marana lakshanaha arthaha. The fact, the truth of life in the form of birth and death is apariharyaha, unavoidable. Therefore, tasmin apariharye arthe, in this unavoidable fact, natvam shochitum arhasi. One should not, you, not tvam, not anybody, you. Tvam shochitum na arhasi. You are not supposed to lament. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Wait.